Let's bring in Congressman Jim Jordan, Republican from the great state of Ohio. What do you make of these new revelations, Jim?
Well, remember, Stuart, the FBI was paying Danchenko, the guy who's on trial right now. Danchenko lied to the FBI. So such a deal for the taxpayers. We're going to pay someone to lie to us. He was the primary subsource for the Steele dossier, which, of course, they used to go get the warrant to spy on Trump's campaign. The dossier they knew was false. And Christopher Steele, we now learned that they were willing to pay him to validate something they already knew was false. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. But I think it just underscores how out of touch and how political the FBI has become. You couple all that with what we now have had with 14 FBI agents coming to us as whistleblowers, what they did when they raided President Trump's home, taking the phone of a sitting member of Congress, kicking in the door of a pro-life leader, arresting him in front of his wife and 7 kids. I mean, on it goes. So this just, I think, further validates what we all know, which is the FBI is purely political now, going after their political opposition.
Now, that's shocking. Now, if the GOP retakes control of the House in November, you become chair of the Judiciary Committee. Who's the first person you're going to investigate?
Well, we got to look at what's happened on the border. I mean, we went from a secure border to no border. So Mr. Mayorkas and everything that's going on there is critically important. And then just what I talked about, this political nature of the FBI. I mean, this is the same FBI who we learned a year ago was using counterterrorism measures to spy on parents. So that has to be investigated as well. Not to mention the fact that 2 years ago, about this time, in October 2 years ago, before the most important election we have, 51 former intel officials wrote a letter saying the Hunter Biden laptop was Russian disinformation. We know that's not true. We knew at the time it wasn't true. But 51 former intel officials write that letter, which became the basis for suppressing that story, which we all know had an impact on the election. Maybe if they don't do that, we don't have Joe Biden as president. And if we don't have Joe Biden as president, we don't have record crime. We don't have a border that's no longer a border. We don't have a 41-year high inflation rate. We don't have $2 gas that went to $5 gas. We don't have the FBI attacking your First Amendment, Second Amendment liberties and being weaponized against us. So that's critically important. I want to know what those 51 intel officials, what they were basing that letter on. We need to find that out. And so those are people we need to talk to figure out and get to the bottom of that story that was completely false.
You can do it if the Republicans retake the House in November. One last one. What do you think of the Jake Tapper interview with the president last night, where not a single question on the border was asked and there was precious little on crime? What about that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just typical for the mainstream media. That's just how they treat Democrats. It's a whole different standard. But I do think this election cycle, this campaign is really about 4 issues plus freedom. It's about we went from a secure border to no border. We went from stable prices to a 41-year high inflation rate. We went from $2 gas to $5 gas. And we went from safe streets to record crime. And in addition to doing all that to American families and communities and to your pocketbook, they've also come after your First Amendment rights, your Second Amendment rights, your due process rights. And as I said, they've weaponized government against us. And then just think about this. The only person whose retirement plan has increased is Dr. Fauci. Everyone else I talked to, look at your 401k. Everyone else is going down in the last 2 years. The only one who's went up is Dr. Fauci. I think that weighs on people's minds as well. So that's why you see all our Senate candidates doing so well. I was in Wisconsin last Monday night with Senator Johnson. He is winning. Laxalt is winning. Herschel's within the margin of error. Dr. Oz is close. J.D. Vance is winning. Ted Budd is winning. So I do think you're feeling this momentum in our direction, which I think is just such a good thing. And I do think in 27 days, Republicans are not only going to take the House, we're going to take the Senate.
You're going to be very busy if you win. Jim Jordan, always a pleasure. Come and see us again soon. Thank you, sir.